So that's where I've gotten so far. I haven't added anything to this stuff, okay, other than little things on the top. But what I'm trying to depict here is a step back from what I'm creating here. So we can see this is just this quadrant right here, okay? These two cells are these two cells. And these two tails, or the third tail which is going to come down, okay, is basically that right there. You're going to come down with a 3-2-1 pattern, okay, because the lengths of the chain will change from 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then this one will be a 1x4, which will just be a 1, which I haven't drawn yet. Alright, so we're depicting the 0th dimension, the first dimension x, second dimension y for planes, and the third dimension z for volume, fourth dimension of time, fifth dimension of love, sixth dimension of ego, and seventh dimension of nothing. Now that's very important. Remember that seventh dimension is nothing, which makes the 8th dimension infinite, because it just goes on and on and on and on. So when you look at it from a more of a micro scale, okay, look at your nodes. It goes to 16D now. Okay, there's your infinite. Okay, so basically what we have here is pretty self-explanatory. You know, like there's your L, which is a 50. 2 X's are needed to make an L. 2 V's are needed to make an X. You need a line, and a dot to make a V. And you need 2 dots to make a line, you know? Like this stuff. Your L is equal to 50. You need 2 X's to make an L. You need 2 V's to make an X. You need that to make a V. You need 2 dots to make a 1. But a dot is equal to a 1 from a certain point of view. So, you know, and then here, if you have an LL, so if you're going to have an upside down L here, I guess for balance, okay? LL makes a C, and C is 100. Now, if you're going to have a 9x9 grid, there's your C, because it's connected closest to heaven. Hey, look, it looks like your sun and your moon, you know? And all this is, okay, you have 9 dots. 9 dots to create the C, which is 100. Which is basically just a circled 0 and 1. Which is why 9 is equal to balance, because 9 is equal to the unity between a 0 and a 1, because it's circled in cellular math. Now, from all these lines, okay, so let's go from a singularity. So one singularity will make 2 dots. You know, one singularity will make 2 dots from a certain point of view as a 1x2, which is duality. Now, duality is going to make, a 1 is going to equal a lot of things, okay? A 1 is going to equal a 1x2, okay? It's going to equal a 1x3, it's going to equal a 1x4, it's going to equal a 1x5, okay? It's going to equal all that stuff, alright? But duality also makes the trinity, okay? And the trinity is going to be your V, because you need, you know, 3 dots to make the 2 lines needed to make the V, okay? So those are your V's, okay? A 2x3, 2x4, and 2x5. But then you make 4, because when you make 2 V's, okay, you make an X, and then you're going to go out 1, okay? And then for the X, you're going to need like 3 1x2s, because you're going to have basically, you have a 1x2, a 1x2, a 1x2, and a 1x2. But what's going to happen is that these are going to bend that way, and these are going to bend that way. So you're going to have a 2 and a 2, like these 2 and those 2. It's going to make a new one-dimensional line here, and one coming out of the page. The other one's going to make a one-dimensional line, and one going into the page. Showing like 6 sides to make a center, a new one, you know, like an X in 3D. Okay, this is a third dimension. Okay, you know, the 4 corners of the octahedral light source to create the third dimension. Anyways, so we've already made the V because the trinity makes the V. So we go from 4 to making 6. Okay. 4 makes 5 makes 6, I guess. And the 6 is basically, you need the 6 nodes to make your L. Your big L. Because when you're coming down from here, you actually need a node to signify a unit by a unit. That's why that's an L. Okay, that's why that's an L. You have a unit, and a unit. There's no other nodes here. This is a 1x3, remember? So Armageddon code is basically 3 makes 4 makes 5 makes 6 makes 8. Because 7th dimension is nothing. Why does Armageddon code make 8? Because of this. Because of what we're creating right here. We're creating an outreaching something. And this is really not hard to get a 6 and a 0 when these two are zeros, okay? It's not. This will create a 1 by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a 6. You know? I can't really explain why that's a 0 right now, so I'm not going to. But that's what we're going to get left with, okay? Now, Armageddon code, it makes 8. What does that mean? Well, check it out. Look at all the things in here. How many things do we have in here? We got 8. 8 things. And when you add them all up, you get a 109. Circled. And because that's your +1, it equals your 110. Remember that. Now, what else do we have here? Okay? If we take out everything that's a 0 and add it up, we get our 33. But we also have 5 circles that we can't really get rid of. So I'll depict it by 5 dashes. So that's a 33 circled 5 times. Remember that. And what else do we have? Okay, look, we have a T. That's the 20th letter of the alphabet. We also have a 1 by 9. A 1 by 5, sorry. We have a 1 by 3 and we have 2 zeros. Fair enough. Add those together, you get 30. Plus, we have a cross. Okay, it's not an X, it's a cross. We have a cross, so that's going to equal another 1, let's say. So out of all the numbers we have in the bottom, because Armageddon code makes 8, we have 110, a 33, a 30, and a 1. Because the 5 brackets here, these 5 colors, they're all just 1s. So a 5 is equal to a 1 because, you know, right here, a 5 is equal to a 1 because a 5 is equal to a 1. It's very important in creation code stuff. So because a 5 is equal to a 1, we have 110 plus 33 plus 30 plus 1. Oh, I'm getting tired of finding this number everywhere, but that equals 174. Magnets needed in heaven. In your X, Y, Z, and then your 2 I's. 32 times 5, 160, and then you have 14 axles coming in. 6 sides and 8 vertices of a cube to give you 160 plus 14, which is 174. I'm really getting tired of repeating myself on that. So, there. So all I've done is I've taken time, okay, to show myself the numbers again, okay? And look what we've created, okay? I'm just, like, what am I explaining? I'm going to go up to here, obviously, okay? 8 and plus 1, which is a 9. Look, guy, we're talking about 9D. I'm talking about 9D. I'm going to explain to you, as best as I can, how this all works. Now, 9D, you know? What's the next dimension, okay? Like after, like let's say this whole cell of 5, because a 5 is equal to a 1. When a 5 equals a 1, you get this. This is a 5 equals 1 scale because a 1 is equal to a 5. So what happens here? All right. I don't know, what can we get here? Okay, because our chain link doesn't really start till here. Whatever. Let's just leave it like this. Check it out. Alright, that's a big circle, you know, with a little window of 4 in the middle. What can I do here? Look at that, that's like a really big 9. Oh, look at that! We went from 4-bit, okay? Like 4-bit, because you have a 4 here, and you have a 4 here to connect to make this. Anyways, we went from 4 to 8-bit, because we're going to 8-bit, right? And then we're going to go to 16-bit, and on and on and on and on, just like video game systems. So there's your 9, okay? There's your higher dimension of 16. This is your hex 9. So that's what a 4-bit 9 looks like, I guess. Okay, and resolution-wise. And that's what a 16-bit... Sorry. That's what an 8-bit 9 looks like. I guess that's your D. There's your 9D. Right? Because why not? So there's your 9. And there's your D. Haha. That's a big 9. It can also be a really big D. Very simply. If I made another one of these beside it. But I can't. So I'll just draw it here like a D. Okay? It goes bigger. It's a 32-bit. 64-bit. Like video game systems, people? You guys understand video game systems, don't you, right? You guys have played a lot of video games, I'm hoping? Maybe not the older ones like I did, because they were crap. But that's all we had. Anyways, I can't stress this enough. Okay, the Armageddon stuff, kind of important. Cheers.